Hello everyone, I am Samuel, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, and I am handling computer architecture and organization for this art semester. Today we are going to see about what is a memory and what are the characteristics of a memory in a computer architecture and organization. First we will see what is a memory. A memory is just like a human brain. It is used to store data, whereas in a computer we will store data and the instruction. And the computer memory or the memory module, which we have seen already in the components of the memory, which is the storage space in the computer. Without that we cannot store any data, or we cannot process any data. Where the data is to be processed and instruction required for processing are stored. So the data to be processed and also required for processing the data are stored in the memory module. Next, what are the key characteristic of a computer memory or in a system? The main characteristics are displayed here: the location, the capacity, the unit of transfer, access methods, performance, physical type, and the physical characteristics and the organization. First, we will see about the location, where the data is stored. For example, we are seeing a screenshot here that represents the storage space in a computer, or you can see the drives. It displays the drives in a computer. Now location. First we will see the term location refers to whether the data is stored internally or externally in a computer. Whether the data is stored internally means we can say the main memory of the computer. Externally means the secondary memory of the computer, or you can see the peripheral memory of a computer, the extended memory, in other words you can say. So internal memory means main memory. The external memory means we can say the peripheral storage, like hard disks, the pen drives, the CDs, the DVDs, etc. So internal memory, main memory, or we can take an example as a RAM, where random access memory, where it is not a permanent memory, it is a temporary memory, but it is a main memory. Whereas the external device, we can take an example of the pen drive, which is very portable in nature. The next most key characteristic of a memory is that the capacity. The obvious characteristic of a memory is its capacity. So even though we have the storage space, we need the capacity. How much data we can store in a computer. For example, if you have a 1 TB of hard disk, we can store 1 TB of 1 terabyte of data in a hard disk. So the word size, each data is stored as word. That word size may be 8, 6, 32, maybe 64, 128. It goes on. It depends upon it. The internal memory is expressed in bits, whereas the external memory is expressed in bytes. So this is the most another aspect, another characteristic in the memory module. So as you know, 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. The next most important thing is the unit of transfer. How the data is transferred in the computer. The data are transferred as words or block of words. So this is another important aspects or important characteristic of your memory. The next one is the access methods. How we can access the data which are stored in the memory or which is stored in a location. So we will have the sequential access method, where it starts at the beginning and reads through in order. So it follows a sequential method, and also the access time depends upon the location of the data and also the previous location where the data has been stored. The second access method we are used to access the data in the memory is the direct memory, where individual blocks have unique address. The block of words have the unique address, and also the access might be or will be jumping to vicinity plus the sequential. It also has the sequential search in it. The next access method is random methods, where we can randomly access the data For example, RAM, random access memory, and the next one is the associative, where we can take the example as a cache memory, where the data is located by comparison with the contents of the portion of the store. Where the data has been stored, it compares with the contents of the data. The next most another important key characteristic is the performance of the system. The performance of the system is depends upon the access time, the time between presenting the address and getting the valid data. That is, using the address bus to designate the data and using the data bus to fetch the data. That time between is called as the access time. The memory cycle time is the time required for the memory to recover before the next access. That is, we have used the address bus to designate the source as the destination, and we have used the data bus to fetch the data. So the time taken for the memory to recover in order to be ready for the next access is called as a memory cycle time. The cycle time is calculated as access time plus the required recovery time. The next one is the transfer update, the rate at which data can be moved. The sixth one is the physical characteristics, semiconductor, physical types of memory. So we have semiconductor memory, where it will not conduct, or it is insulated. It is not a conductor of electricity. It is a semiconductor. For example, we can take an example of RAM. We will see briefly about that. And the next one is magnetic tapes, magnetic disk and magnetic tapes. And the last one is the optical memory, which is CD or DVD. The physical characteristic of the memory is volatile or non-volatile. Volatile means the data lost when switched off. It's not a permanent memory. Whereas the non-volatile, for example, we can take an example of ROM, read-only memory, which is a permanent memory, which is fixed or fabricated in a motherboard, fabricated in a system. Which is a non-volatile memory, where the data will not be lost even though you switch off the system. The next characteristic is erasable, where data can be altered or modified. The non-erasable is data cannot be altered. The next one is the organization, the physical arrangement of bits to form words. How the data has been organized in a memory. Data can be organized in a memory using a special type of what you call as techniques. By for example, in operating system, we would have learned about the pages and the segmentation. Any queries, you can very well communicate with the displayed email address. Thank you.